Howdy, howdy, and welcome to the Tea Weasel, where we pair teas with movies. Today, we'll be looking at That's right, you guessed it, Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Greed, and Betrayal. This is the first documentary I've done on this channel, and documentaries are technically considered movies. That, and I just love Bob Ross like most people. So I'm doing this one. Yay! Why the Bob Ross one, you might be asking? Well, let me tell you. Some time ago, I was in the Navy, and while deployed on a ship, it was high stress, long hours, little pay, little sleep, and morale was something that was unheard of. But then one day, they played Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting. Bob Ross had a nice, soothing voice. Just watching him and listening to him made the world slow down a little bit, and the stress went away. It wasn't so much hurry up and get it done anymore, it was just breathe, which was really nice. It was a peaceful moment at the least peaceful times. One of my COs there on the ship said he didn't care about our safety so long as we got the mission done. And naturally, because the military is a lot like MASH, he picked up rank and is an admiral. Because of these reasons, I love Bob Ross even more, and when I found out there was a documentary about him, I knew I wanted to do a video. Little did I know the dark side of Bob Ross. However, before I dive into the documentary, I want to talk about our tea. First thing as always, you want to do is get your water hot. Add your chamomile bag and add a little bit of lavender to your cup. Don't need that much, just a little bit to get the flavor in there. Once the water's screaming, add it to your cup. Let it steep for roughly 3 to 5 minutes. During that time, take some awesome B shots of your tea. Remove the bag then, and then realize you made a happy little accident there by not putting the lavender in the bag itself. Give it a nice little stir with a paintbrush that is clean. I cannot emphasize enough that you should make sure it is a clean paintbrush. And then continue to have fun filming your tea before drinking it. The tea has a nice chamomile taste to it with a hint of lavender. It is a perfect, relaxing night cup of tea. The one thing I do not particularly like about this documentary is how they brush, over Bob's time in the military. During his time in the military, it was a whole lot louder and more aggressive. That was part of a job he did not like, in addition to it stumping a lot of his creativity. The interviews are mostly done by Steve, his son, and a couple friends. There wasn't that many because most of the people were afraid of being sued by the Kowalskis. And quick life lesson here, if people are too afraid to talk because of you, you might be an antagonist.
Are we the baddies?
Their actions are very questionable in the ethics department, but I am not here to tell you not to buy any Bob Ross merchandise because money doesn't go to the family. Rather, I'm here to tell you to watch a documentary, which will make you not want to buy BRI merch. Because this is a documentary, I can't really talk about like acting or anything. So I'm going to be talking about how well they tell the story. All the information is one-sided because the Kowalskis didn't want to appear in this. With the information given, the story is laid out smoothly from one event to the next throughout Bob's life, and the events taking place after he died. Bob's show, The Joy of Painting, really showed his love for painting and creativity. He tried to get people to express themselves creatively. He tried to get everybody to express themselves in a creative way. For me, it's making teas and dyslexically writing things. Sometimes I make mazes too. Everybody needs a hobby, right? This kind of expression can be very therapeutic. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to therapy. Definitely go to therapy if you can afford it. But this kind of expression is very beneficial. Something about taking out all your emotions, putting them on canvas, or whatever medium you're doing, really just kind of helps. And for most, Bob Ross was the man, their friend, their teacher, who helped guide them through the learning process to get good. He said it takes practice to do this. Nobody is born great at painting. And just because you're not good now doesn't mean you can't get good if you put the effort into it. Which makes it all the more heartbreaking that on his deathbed, his wishes were disregarded by his business partners. The people he had worked with for the past years did not see him as a person, but only a means of profit. And that is truly a tragedy. I would have liked to hear more about Bob's life before the show, but sadly they don't go into that. Because the story they really wanted to tell was the story of Bob trying to keep his name and then give his name to his son when he passes. I personally would have liked to know more about Bob Ross and his life, and not just the sad struggles he had. Anyways, that's really pretty much it. Again, I can't talk about acting or writing because these are interviews from real people about real events. The camera works good. It's a documentary, so they're not doing anything crazy or anything. And Netflix did reach out to the Kowalskis about this documentary being made. So good job, Netflix, trying to, make sure it wasn't just one-sided. Anyways, that's just my take on this movie. And remember, your mental health is important. Express yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself creatively. Don't be afraid to express yourself, because again, your mental health is important. I care about you, and so do other people. If you are creatively expressing yourself and you're still struggling, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. And until next tea time, watch a movie and have a relaxing cup of tea.